SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports talk show, is on deck from the Caesars Sportsbook at Horseshoe Lake Charles. The three wise guys are mic'd up and ready. SoundOff begins now.
My colleague on the far end of this table, that would be Mr. Kevin Guidry over there. He has earned a new nickname. Henceforth, for at least this week, he'll be known as Nostradamus. You know who that was?
Oh, I do know.
Okay.
He makes good predictions.
I'm testing you there. Welcome to SoundOff. We're coming to you from Caesars Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. All right, let me quickly explain. All last week over two shows, Scooter and I were LSU's emerging. They're in it. Mr. LSU, former defensive back, all SEC, all whatever on LSU, kept bringing the whole thing down. Like you're gulping the Kool-Aid of positivity, right? You warned us that the gauntlet of their SEC schedule was now upon them with the Texas A&M.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. So now, in honor of you, sir.
Wow.
You have your own Kool-Aid for the rest of the show. We didn't add ice in it. Oh, it's drinkable.
Oh, I definitely will take that.
That's your own Kool-Aid.
Do not drink the Kool-Aid, guys. Wow.
Mr. Negativity all last week.
Where do you start, Rick? Where do you start?
All right, loaded show. Let me tease.
This week I'm with him.
Yeah, well, let me tease a little bit. All right, we're going to get into how LSU face planted in Aggie Land.
Wow.
All right, we got news on the McNeese Cowboys. Their playoff hopes are dead, and we got quarterback news coming out of the McNeese Cowboys and the Saints losing streak. Yeah, it's up to 6 games, guys. All right,
yes, it is.
That's most of the show. We got to talk about Jalen Daniels and the magic he continues
He's got my
to
vote.
perform.
If I could
in
vote,
Washington.
he's Rookie of the Year already.
All right,
sorry.
so we begin with LSU, a massive nosedive on the AP college football poll. That's a huge drop from number 8 to 16.
That was, Rick.
That kind of surprised me. A&M is very good, and you lose on the road by 15.
You know, I think LSU was kind of a team, the voters and the decision makers. They were just waiting for LSU to trip up.
Number 8, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good spot to be
That's
after
a really
beating
good
Ole
spot to
Miss.
be at, Rick.
Guys,
16, not so much.
it's mind-boggling, Mr. Defensive Expert on the panel, that Blake Baker and the rest of that staff didn't have an inkling that Mike Elko might go to this freshman quarterback.
I can't believe that. I mean, the guy had started 3 games.
Exactly.
Yes, he did.
And
He
let me
was
tell you a
not
little
new.
story. And here,
Make it
and
quick.
Here was I had to go by a hotel in College Station, pick up my parking pass and credentials. I'm walking out. I'm getting in my car, and there's 2 or 3 A&M fans walk by, and they said, "Y'all got the better quarterback." I'm wearing a green shirt.
You just have that look about
Well, no,
you.
I finally figured it out. I was standing by my car with Louisiana
Oh,
plates.
there you go. Okay. Now,
But that's
would
what
be-
A&M thought of their
Kevin,
starting quarterback.
Rick, how do you not make an adjustment or 2 or something? The kid had him on 5 scoring drives.
I mean, and you could I can never remember. I will let him get a word in
Please.
a minute. I can never remember a game that changed so dramatically. With the insertion of one play.
Elko had it. He's spot on.
Particularly when it wasn't like a starter coming back.
No.
I mean, I was
He knew what he had in that
What
kid.
the hell was Elko thinking not to start that kid?
I don't even know where to begin at, but it's bad when you've got Kevin Murray, a former A&M quarterback, who I intercepted twice in one game. He say, "Well, it looked like karma's pretty good, huh, Kevin?" Talking about my quarterback.
Right.
And I'm saying, you know how hard that is to get a text from a guy you played against 30 years ago?
Yeah, 30.
Man, I'm saying to myself, Rick, and I'm going to say it, guys, maybe some people out there might, whatever. I'm tired of having a 10-3, 10-2 season.
Oh, my gosh.
It's not something we're better than that. And first of all, people were saying that the defense was much better without Perkins. Is it now? This is why you needed Perkins. There was nobody
you got
on
a
that.
point there.
There was nobody in that linebacker position. You got secondary people tackling a quarterback.
Well,
that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the coaching staff not to make adjustments. Elko did. He did, Rick. He made an adjustment.
Well, he
Why
made
couldn't
one.
we make an
I
adjustment?
can't figure. Yeah,
Rick,
he made one.
It's bad when you see a coaching staff that's getting paid that much money and we can't make a simple adjustment
They're
on how to
better
stop
than
a
that.
freshman
They're better
quarterback?
than that.
There's
They are
some
better than that.
And the
different-
bad
I don't
thing, it
get
gets
it
worse,
either.
guys. If you think this guy can run, wait in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wait in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
if you
got
think this guy
a
can
bigger
run.
version in Jalen
Rick,
Milroe.
it's
I got you.
embarrassing.
We'll
It's
get
embarrassing.
into LSU on Thursday's show in regards to. I know where you're going, Brian Kelly, and being a 10-2, 9-4, whatever. Thursday show we'll get into that. But back to this game, Marcel Reed, again a freshman at that.
Freshman, Rick.
A freshman at that, just carving them. He only threw 2 passes.
How can't you make this?
Completed both of them.
How
Yeah.
can't you fluster this kid, man? A freshman.
It is
Rick.
hard to believe, but
I
look,
mean, to me, I mean, he's obviously very talented.
He's starting after this
Good,
week
but-
on. I promise you that. I
Can
promise you he's
should.
starting.
If he doesn't,
I promise you he
if he
is.
doesn't, they'll run Elko out of College Station.
that's why I thought LSU was going to win this game.
I-
Connor Redmond is not an impressive
Oh,
quarterback.
he's
No,
not.
Rick, no.
He's not.
And
I
that's
think
why
they
I thought
just
LSU
did
had
it
this
out of
game.
respect for him. But Rick, oh my God.
All right, LSU's defense wasn't the only problem. I mean,
No, it
Garrett
wasn't.
Nussmeier took the worst game, the worst time to have his worst quarterback performance. Come on.
Yeah.
Now,
3
granted,
interceptions.
A&M made great plays. Some of their secondary guys made some really great
Well,
plays. and
but all
reads.
of them were kind of forced.
All of them.
Yes.
I totally agree with Scooter. I
None of
totally
the
agree with
three
Scooter.
I don't know.
should
That
have
out
been thrown.
route,
Three was
when
just
that
should
guy
not have
left
happened.
his receiver,
But you
I think he read it well.
You have no running game.
None.
I've got a story in
None.
Tuesday's paper. What was it? You throw out the sacks and the Nussmeier had one like 12-yard scramble. 21 rushes, 14 of them gained 1 yard
Yeah.
or less.
Something's got to.
I mean, and they just kept banging their head.
Rick.
And you can't totally throw out the running game.
No.
Because you
You
saw
gotta
what
have it,
happened.
Scooter.
I mean, Nussmeier had a good first half.
Did.
But the longer that game went, with 1 yard, 0, -1 yard running game runs, the less attention A&M paid.
Kelly was right. Kelly was
and,
right.
you know, he has been protected well all
Exactly.
year. And it wasn't.
Pin the ears back. They pinned the ears back. They knew he was going to throw.
Two sacks itself would not have been bad.
No, it wouldn't have.
But, I
Rick.
mean, he was throwing off his Kelly put it,
He
he was
was.
throwing off his head all day running.
Rick,
10 seconds.
I don't. It's not.
You don't have to.
I'm not even going to take it.
No,
Rick.
okay,
It's
you
not
can take it in
enough.
the next segment.
It's not
But
enough,
yes,
Rick.
Kelly was right. It put too much pressure on the passing game, and Nussmeier threw for like 50 attempts. It's one-dimensional. And you're going to lose those games.
He
Where you're
threw
not going to
for
lose is
400
at the Max
yards.
Bar and Grill at the National Golf
did
Club
throw for
in Westlake.
400.
Perfect spot for casual lunch or dinner, out with the family or friends. All your Louisiana menu favorites at great prices and the best in service. Live sports wherever you look, and a great bar for winding down after 18 holes of golf at the National. And they're open 7 days a week.
And it's good. The Miller Lights win the big game.
You're right, Luke. Miller Lite is less filling and tastes great.
Wait, is this a dream?
No, Luke. This is a Miller Lite commercial.
Hello, portable AC. Hello, Topo Chico. Topo Chico Hard Seltzer with added minerals for a crisp taste.
Now's the perfect time to enjoy your amazing backyard. Unless you have a mosquito problem, contact the experts at J&J Exterminating and take advantage of $50 off initial service. Make this summer the best ever with J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
Welcome back to SoundOff, coming to you from Caesars Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. All right, only casino in Southwest Louisiana
Yes.
with 100 times odds on craps right here. And Caesars Sportsbook, what you need to do, you need to get the rewards card. That's number one. Number two, you need to sign up
Yes.
for the Caesars Sportsbook app. And number three, you do a $500 wager, which you do almost every other
Stop
night.
it, Rick, stop.
Mr. I won't say.
Stop it.
You do your first wager, $500, not on the Saints, of course. Don't bet on the Saints.
No,
and
no.
they'll send you an exclusive, real fancy Houston Texans polo shirt.
That's pretty nice.
And the Texans helmet is coming.
the
Get ready.
Texans, watch the Texans now.
That's
I'm telling
coming.
you.
All
Watch
right
the
here,
Texans.
Caesar Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. All right, the Saints spiral continues. We got that
Yes,
coming
it
up.
does, Rick. Yes, it
The
does.
Commanders, Jalen Daniels,
He's
More
got my
magic.
vote. I'm telling you, give it to the kid.
I told you
He's
that
got
2
Rookie of
weeks
the
ago.
Year.
He's a
Give
leading
it to him.
candidate for NFL Rookie of the Year.
Give it to him.
All right, you wanted to.
thought about this?
What?
I know we're going to talk about it a little bit. LSU could have a lot of football to be played, but Paul Skeens is going to be the National League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
There's no other candidate.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
Daniels could be the NFL Rookie of the
There's
Year.
That'd be a
There's
first
your
time
thing.
ever, Scooter.
There's
I
your
don't
thing.
know.
All right.
I think that'd be a first time ever.
You got the floor for a little bit. What
Rick,
was your
look,
other comment on LSU and
I think-
Texas A&M?
I think Scooter and you are missing the point about what I'm saying. It's time to start shedding some of this blame on individuals. We can't keep saying the defense, the offense, this and that. When are we going to say certain particular people on that coaching staff, damn it, it's not doing their job? I'm
The
sorry.
man said it after the
It's
game.
not doing their job,
Brian Kelly said,
Well, yeah,
we
he
did
owned-
not support the team with better
Well, he
coaching.
owned up
What
to
more do
it.
you want to say
Okay.
him to do?
Okay.
You want him to
Is
fire
it
people?
possible
He said
they
it.
just had one bad game? Because that defensive staff, they had shown
Let-
a lot of promise up
Yeah.
until the second half.
Scooter, but let me tell you this.
Saturday.
You've got to understand, you've got to put certain people in places to where your defensive scheme works. You know what the Texas A&M
You
Elko
don't
and them
think
looked
they
at?
don't-
They looked at, and I told y'all this, y'all didn't want to believe me. Weeks is a great player, hell of a player. He's got weaknesses.
Of course he does.
Coverage, it was plain to see.
For a linebacker, I think his coverage is pretty good.
They looked at him and saw if they got him outside the box, he wasn't going to be effective.
There was no
You
match.
keep him in between the
You're right.
tackles, he's a tackling machine.
Yes.
The
And
throwing
that's
didn't
what they
hurt
did.
LSU.
There was
No,
no
Scooter, the running
there,
of the
there
quarterback
was
did,
there
though,
was
Scooter.
no there
That's
was
him.
no there was no matchup for this young Reed.
Okay,
kid. There
if
was
they
no
were
matchup.
so smart,
Look,
why didn't they start?
I'm not.
I don't know
I
about
mean,
that. I don't know.
But the thing is this.
Well, he's probably
I'm saying to myself,
not as good of a
why
passer.
didn't we set our guy down? Why didn't we set him down and let him gather his thoughts? Quarterback.
Nah,
Yes.
LSU didn't
Why
have that
no,
option.
that's my point, Scooter. Why don't we have that option to have a damn backup quarterback? Why don't we have that option? Is it recruiting? It's because you didn't find somebody that you feel could be?
They have a
Well, why
five-star
didn't they put him in?
backup,
Well, why
but he
didn't they
hadn't
put him in?
played.
Nussmeier was our best chance to win this
But
game.
Rick, I'm not saying take him out totally. Let him gather his thoughts, Rick.
He
We
was
know
good.
that's
One
all
thing
we
about
got.
Nussmeier,
You
he
threw
didn't
two
do
picks
the
to the
guy.
same guy.
No.
You threw two picks to the same guy,
He's
Rick.
a brainy guy.
Rick,
He know.
But
He knew.
Rick, I get all of that. Rick, every player needs time to gather their thoughts. Believe me, it happened to me.
Do it when the defense
You
is on
need
the
it.
field. Let's move. Let's move. All right. Gary Goff confirmed earlier in the week that his senior quarterback, Clifton McDowell's done for the year. This injury to his throwing hand, a finger, the injury was suffered way back in the Weber State game.
Yeah.
I think it was, it got worse. He got a hit in maybe Houston Christian. He was in and out of that game. All total, McDowell will have missed upwards of 7 games. Think about
That's the
the
season.
impact on this season
Yeah.
in the team.
Yeah.
7 games? 6.5, 7 games? I mean,
Why am I
he was the
suspicious?
engine, man. He was the
Why
engine
am
to
I
this offense.
suspicious that you can already be out for the season with a finger?
If you can't grip it and throw it, other than running some
You know I'm
packages, I'm
laughing,
kind
right?
of with you.
You know I'm laughing,
I
right?
broke my finger in high school. I was back at practice the next day.
I'm not even going there,
I,
Scooter.
mean, I wasn't as tough
I'm not
as
even
Kevin.
Jim
going there.
Gazzola and
I'm
I,
not even going there, okay?
we questioned Gary Goff earlier in the week. Is it just the injury? Is it disciplinary? Is he still on the team? Yes, he's still on the team. No, it's not disciplinary.
But
and
Rick,
yes, it's the
when
extent of the
when
injury.
you talk about disciplinary, I mean, for what?
I don't know.
For
I
what?
just
The
had to
season's
cover that.
over.
No,
For what?
I know. So he's
It's-
not going to play for the
Look,
rest of the year.
look.
Javonte Citizen
Well,
hasn't
that's
practiced
right.
in 4 weeks.
We have yet to get an answer on that. Okay,
He's injured.
we are injured.
He's injured. According to Gary Goff, it's an injury that he will not disclose.
Well,
He's done
if
for
he
the
won't
rest of the year.
disclose it, I'm suspicious.
He's done for the rest of the year. Curtis DeVille maybe will come back. And the only reason I'm going there is McDowell, Citizen, and DeVille.
Rick, let me
Three
tell you something.
huge parts of that offense
Let me tell you something.
has been lost for
We
pretty
had-
much the
Well,
entire
welcome
season.
to the NIL
Yeah.
transfer
We had
portal era.
The
so
world of
much-
injuries in
we
college
had so
football.
much promise for McNeese football at the beginning of the year
Yes.
because the parts was there. We could see it like
The parts
they're
were
gonna
kinda
have a
there,
pretty
yeah.
damn good team, man.
Yeah.
But Rick,
Yeah.
Well,
this
even
this
with all
happened
these
mostly
guys
because
out, let's look,
people didn't buy into what the system was doing. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
let's look at last week's game. They did a lot of things well enough to win that game.
Nichols.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Nichols game. They
Yeah.
did a lot of things. but they are the sloppiest, most undisciplined McNeese team.
The unsportsmanlike flags are mind-boggling.
I mean, how can you keep doing that week after week?
Top players,
and
too.
you see players, they know you can't throw a ball in the stands.
Yeah, I know. It is mind-boggling, and you know, Nichols came
Am
up
I right?
with.
You're totally
Nichols came up with, you
What
know,
would Owensboro
3 or
have done to
4.
you?
Sit on the bench for the rest of the year.
3 or 4 or 5 plays, chunk plays
love that, man.
separated
I love
this
that,
game. Look,
man,
it was
bro.
24-19. It was a close game.
Yeah, but the game didn't tell
the
the
Cowboys
story
got
of
what,
what
nearly
happened,
170 yards rushing on the second-ranked
Look.
defense against the rush in the country. So yeah, this game was for the taking. But again, no slight to Killer. He's not going to win a game like this. He's not dynamic
times
enough.
have we said that this year?
I know.
The game was there for the taking.
Yeah, well.
The team does not know how to win because they're sloppy.
They're
Rick,
sloppy at times.
what's your take on the McNeese at this point? What's your take on it? You follow them.
They got
a
3
lot
more
closer.
games. We'll get into it later in the week, but they got 3 more games. Commerce is not very good.
No, they're not.
Northwestern is not very
Are
good.
they even a football team?
Northwestern
Okay.
is not very good.
That's what
Lamar will
Are
be
they
a test
even a
at
football
home.
team?
You got the last 3,
Yeah.
2 or 3 at home.
Yeah.
Can they look? They got some stuff to play for. The playoffs are gone. all
Done.
right? But
Done.
you're shooting for your first winning season in about 5 years.
And you're in 7th place in the Southland Conference.
They could be undefeated at home. That's something to play for.
That is true, Rick. You know.
Yeah.
That is something to play for.
But a winning season is
it-
the big thing. Keep
yeah.
fighting and
Yeah.
keep getting better.
Those
I'm shocked that
would
McDowell
mean
can't
some-
get over this
that
hand
would
thing. I'm
mean
shocked.
something
Yeah, I am
to
too.
somewhat local, regional people who grew up Cowboy fans,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It doesn't mean anything to guys you've brought in from all over the country.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it
You
doesn't.
come here
No,
to contend
it
for a
doesn't.
championship.
No, it doesn't.
And you said it well. They had the parts, but the parts broke down.
They did,
I'm
Rick.
just surprised
They
that
did, Rick.
McDowell can't get
I
over
am
this.
too.
But I hadn't seen
I
the
am
finger.
too.
I
I
hadn't
don't
seen
know,
the
Rick.
finger. Up
I
against
don't
the
know.
clock. Round 3 of Sound Off when we return to Caesar Sportsbook. Stay right there.
Hello, portable AC. Hello, Topo Chico. Topo Chico Hard Seltzer with added minerals for a crisp taste.
I love being an adult because bringing a fruit platter to a party takes on a whole new meaning. Don't tell anyone it's door-bought. Simply Spiked. It's getting juicy.
What's bugging you?
Is it ants? They're crazy, tiny, irritating pests outside trying to get in. At J&J, we offer weapons to locate, eliminate, and prevent their entering your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Contact us today for a free inspection.
And it's good. The Miller Lights win the big game.
You're right, Luke. Miller Lite is less filling and tastes great.
Wait, is this a dream?
No, Luke. This is Miller Lite commercial.
If you want great food and great times, right next door to Caesar Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles, that would be
I'm about to go
Brews
get something
Brothers.
right now.
You might get some food to
Food's
go
good.
here. Right next
Food is
door,
good.
Brews Brothers. A diverse menu.
Everything. They've got everything. there.
Gourmet sandwiches, burgers, salads galore, fresh seafood, gumbo, steaks and seafood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very diverse and very interesting. It's kind of an apps and, of course, in desserts. And, of course, Friday night karaoke. If you're for the great time, Friday night
Stay away
karaoke.
from that.
Live bands on Saturday night.
Yes.
It's Brews Brothers right
It's a
here.
good
If you're
place.
looking for a
Come and
nice
check it out.
night out for dinner and good times, right here.
Come and check it out.
Next door to Caesar Sportsbook at the Horseshoe. All right. Enough time has passed where we can start hitting on the New Orleans Saints because everybody's been hitting on them, of course. 6th straight game loss. This is the longest losing streak since 2006. Believe it or not.
2006.
Yeah, it's a long time. Look, positive, they got some guys back on offense. Didn't make a hell of a beans, but on the line, Ruiz came back.
Yep.
Taysom Hill came back.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Chris
didn't
Olave
use. I wonder.
came back.
They didn't use Hill a whole lot.
They didn't.
though.
I'm
That
thinking
makes
he's
me
not totally back.
wonder
He's not
if that
totally
was
back.
by plan. They
Yeah.
didn't want too much.
He's not
I don't
totally
care.
back.
Get him
Yeah,
in there. Use
yeah.
him for however long.
Yeah,
Put a
totally
double jacket on the ribs or something. And
And
we had a
best I can
Kendrick
tell-
Miller sighting, believe it or not. Remember him?
Yeah.
Kendrick Miller. What are we, 8 games in?
Well, I
And
was
he's finally-
wondering who he was.
He was a
when I
running back.
saw
He's
him.
like a second-round draft pick from last year.
Well, one thing you can count on the Saints.
Oh,
we
my
talked
gosh.
about McNeese. McNeese is a little bit the NFL version.
Yeah.
Sloppy. I mean,
Look,
as soon as McNeese cracks a 6, 8, 9-yard run, I know a flag's coming. Well, there will be holding. You know what I think about NFL officiating? There's over officiating.
Well,
but a lot of it looked warranted.
One of the things that Dennis Allen, he was on point. Too many penalties, no consistency on offense, and the defense still can't tackle.
I can tell you what the problem on offense is now that they have a few players.
Rookie quarterback. What do you mean? It's a rookie quarterback.
Look, man.
And they may get better, but right now they're playing with the 2 worst quarterbacks in the league. Not 1, but 2.
I'd have to do a deep dive, but
look,
you know.
Look, when you talk about penalties, and Dennis Allen is the coach, you're dealing with grown men. I can accept some of these penalties, Rick, against college kids, just getting excited and not knowing better. This is your job.
College kids
as
getting
a professional.
paid now.
As a professional, but this is your job as a professional. You know, Rick, the only way you eliminate those things, start hitting them in the pocket. Okay? Some of those will go away.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's the problem,
Maybe.
Rick, because these guys right here, Rick, you a grown man. You a grown man. Now, you got some that are pass interference, you know, give or take that. But jumping off sides, Rick, that's right here.
Hey,
that's
here
just
you go.
right here.
Leads into my next
I'm
point.
sorry.
Alvin Kamara signed the contract extension, got
Kamara's
another.
playing his ass off.
Yeah, he got another big money deal. He's 30-year-old running back. You know
Yeah.
what they say about 30-year-old running backs? I don't have a problem with
He's
this
not the
signing.
same running back,
I don't
though.
have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it, even though they got cap issues and money issues, whatever. Here's what Alvin Kamara, the last 2 weeks, has been brutally honest. Last week he said, I don't blame the fans for leaving the Dome early when they lost to the Denver. I don't blame them.
It's crazy,
This
Rick.
year, after this game, in the locker room, he said, we're not paying it. We have no commitment to details. Just what you just said. The man says, I like the quote was, we got a whole lot of bad going on. The attention to detail, you're right, they're grown men, but they're not paying attention to details.
Can you imagine what Sean Payton was saying across the field, looking at his old
laughing
team,
his butt off.
saying,
So
what
last
the
week-
hell?
Yeah.
What the hell? That's
Yeah.
not the team that I coached when I was here. What the hell? Rick,
All right.
it's just.
What was it, 3-2?
No.
3-2 for like 3 quarters.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Have you ever, halftime, 9 to 5.
9
Was
to
it?
5.
It felt like
9 to
3
5.
quarters.
I don't know if I've ever seen a 9-5 halftime football score.
I don't know.
So, Rick, you're the Saints guy. You love your Saints no matter what, good or bad. Does Dennis Allen stay?
No, he doesn't stay. No.
Okay.
And I think he knows it.
I thought he should have left last year.
Watch the post
Look what your results off of
he,
this
he
year.
knows the writing quote is on the wall. Yes, he's had a ton of injuries. But look, I think the Loomises and the Bensons and all the executives know that they can't sell Dennis Allen for another year. The fans.
You can't, Rick.
So
you shouldn't have had him for this year, Rick, but they was just being nice
Can they
to the
sell
man.
Loomis for
Okay.
another year?
You know? Because he's part of the problem too, Rick. What Scooter
clearly,
said. He's part of the problem
Loomis,
too.
at
He
least
is part of the problem.
Loomis does have a proven track
he
record.
does.
He has put together some really good
And
teams.
he's had some ups and down drafts.
Yes, he
but
has.
you're going to have that. It's
Yeah.
not an exact science. So, but this game,
And I don't
again,
know how he keeps manipulating the
I don't
salary
know. We
cap.
will, later on in weeks to come, we'll
I
talk
don't know.
about their cap issues and the like. But back to the cap issues and the money problem. He's not going on the open market to bring in any free agents.
No.
I mean,
No,
I
Rick.
keep saying
And
after
you
the
would think,
season,
Rick-
you need to shed some players.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And Cam Jordan is one of them. Teran Matthew
think
is
Cam
another
Jordan
one of
knows.
them.
Cam
and probably
Jordan
Demario Davis.
Yeah.
You've got
Cam
some
Jordan
older
knows.
veterans that have lost a step, but
Some
here
of
they are.
those may retire anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with Scooter on that. Some of them may. Just out of knowing it's time to go.
Could this be some good news on the way?
What?
Derek Carr could be back for this coming game against Carolina, and
No.
Carolina's the worst team in the NFL.
What's good about it, Rick?
Well, Derek Carr.
But
Put
what's
it
the good
this
news?
way, that makes it must win.
Yeah, what's
It
the good
must
news?
win.
I mean, Carr, obviously, when you're trying to alternate the 2 worst quarterbacks in the NFL, a proven
Rattler has done some
proven-
kind of interesting
Look, man,
things.
look,
He's kind of done
look.
some interesting things. You know,
But the thing is, Rick,
I like the way he throws on the run.
it's just
That's about it.
when you don't have a lot to work with, can you expect those guys to really, really
No,
be good?
you
Rick?
really
He
can't.
drove
now.
South Carolina coaches
I know.
crazy.
The flags
when
are
he
coming
was a
out.
Gamecock.
Delay a
What do
game.
you
We got to
think
hit
he's
this
doing to
break.
pros?
Round 4. Jalen Daniels is up next.
He takes the handoff. It's a reverb.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
J&J Exterminating is here for you with our water damage sanitation treatments and wood protective borate treatments. There is no charge for home evaluations. Contact your local J&J Exterminating professional.
Hello, portable AC. Hello, Topo Chico. Topo Chico Hard Seltzer with added minerals for a crisp taste.
SoundOff from Caesar Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. Caesar Sportsbook, the legendary, iconic name in sports betting, is right here in Lake Charles.
Yes, it is.
New AP college football poll. The Ducks are still the number one. Ducks, Oregon,
Can
good
you believe
team. They're
that?
number one.
Oregon's
Georgia number two.
one.
Yeah,
I
we'll see.
wouldn't have an argument.
The Aggies jumped all the way up to number 10 after beating LSU. LSU goes all the way down to number 16. That is a huge.
It's hard to
that is a
recoup from
huge
that,
fall.
Rick.
All
It's
right.
hard.
Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals lose again. They're like 3-5. They're sinking in the AFC North.
Yeah.
That's one
They had
LSU
a lot
Tiger.
of injuries.
I know.
They had a lot of injuries.
The other LSU Tigers were the Washington Commanders. I mean, just streaking. 6-2 atop the NFC East. Jaden Daniels and the magic he's doing.
Daniels going to own Washington, D.C.
He is.
From the D.C. area. How like that little angle? Going home
Yeah.
to the Commanders?
To the Commanders.
As the number 2 pick, playing the Chicago Bears with the number 1 pick and Caleb Williams. And what happens? No time on the clock. The Hail Mary of all Hail Marys for this season at
He
least.
threw that ball 65.
It had to be 60.
He didn't even step into it.
He threw it high.
Yeah.
I mean,
The way you're supposed to, right?
Scooter.
What was it? They tracked this. He scrambled around for nearly 13 seconds.
Yeah.
And the end of it was about 40 yards.
I don't know how they can do this.
Why would Chicago
But
put
they
a
were-
spy?
I don't know why.
Like he's going to run
When
60
you know-
yards?
But the thing
they they measured it somehow, and he ran
Computers.
45 yards.
45 yards before.
And you want to try to eat up as much time as you can to try to get your players in position. Because
Exactly.
The defensive players are
You
boxing.
got to get down there.
We're trying to box to keep everything behind us.
Have you, Kevin,
God.
have you ever seen a Hail Mary as badly defended by
Rick,
the Chicago
those
Bears?
guys.
And
you
this
practice
goofy
that-
Stevenson guy.
Crazy.
What was he thinking?
I don't know what he was thinking. He's still talking to the fans.
Talking
the
to the
players
fans.
going
He's in
on.
the ball's hiked. And he's racing
Look.
down to get to the and did you say he tipped it up? Is
Yeah,
that the
he
same-
was
the
he
one
was
that
the guy who
tipped it.
tipped it up.
Knock it down.
Oh my
you,
God!
you as a defensive player,
How does Eberflus
you
survive
practice that
this?
every day after practice, defending the Hail Mary. It's just something that's an automatic thing that you do.
Well, who, I brought up earlier in the show that LSU could get the daily double here.
Yeah.
Paul Skeens is going to be the National League Rookie of
That's
the Year.
crazy.
Yeah.
There's no anybody else. I mean, what other rookies are playing
I mean,
good?
Jay,
Daniels
I
once
can't
caught
see
the
it.
Clear the
American
leading
Nation.
candidate. Clearly,
I cannot
rookie
see
of
it.
the year.
He is the
Clearly.
candidate.
And
I'm
you know
sorry.
he did 326 yards passing with injured ribs.
Yeah, Rick.
He is a stud.
That kid's
We're
got
out
my
of
vote.
time. We'll see you next time right here at SoundOff on CBS Lake Charles.